We got to stop cursing at the very beginning of a video.
Yeah, but you're gonna cut it out anyways.
Well,
you always cut it out.
Well, I need Pat at the beginning of us just chatting.
Yeah,
before
that's
I
what we're
introduce
doing
the
right now. We're
podcast.
giving you
What did you think of the Lego movie?
What did I think of the Lego movie?
Yeah. Did you enjoy it for never seeing a Lego movie?
I enjoyed it. From what I hear, the
first one's a lot better.
The other Lego movies were actually better.
The first one is...
but I still enjoyed it. I think it was still a good, pretty solid movie overall.
It was funny. Like they had a lot of good jokes in the beginning.
I enjoyed like the meta stuff that they mentioned, and then I enjoyed the multiple variants of Bruce Wayne.
That was great, yeah. Which was surprising. And then Bruce Willis jokes was like, wow.
I know, right?
What are the meta? Like, can I buy a Bruce Willis Lego figure?
Hey,
Can I do that?
That would be cool.
Let me find that out while we continue.
I've yet to see the movie, guys. Please don't spoil it.
We won't.
We gotta not spoil
So how
it
was
for
that
Marcus.
for padding, guys?
Well, as far as padding, I think it was pretty okay. So you guys are listening to episode 18 of the Heycast, the #1 gaming podcast in our hearts. I'm Timothy. I'm here with Giacomo, Arnold, and overmanning the stuff with his disembodied voice is Marcus.
What's up, everybody?
You can hear him now.
Yay.
I'm no longer that disembodied voice in the background.
Well, you're still a disembodied voice in the background, but you're still.
I mean,
yeah.
But
you
you
have
have
a
a voice
sound
with
better.
no body.
We can actually hear you.
Have you guys seen the video, The Cloak, by like the guy who did all the Charlie the Unicorn videos?
No.
That's kind of what he reminds me of, is the disembodied head of like former star actor. And that's like the whole thing that follows him around.
That's fantastic.
That was a good show.
By the way, Marcus, if you need to mute your microphone, the on-off switch will mute it if you want to.
Okay.
But when does he want to?
Well, I don't know. Say like say you want to look at something and you don't want us to hear it. I don't know.
I'll be back, guys.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Maybe I don't know. I don't know what Marcus is doing behind that monitor. He could be looking at like some dirty stuff on his phone.
I don't think
he doesn't want us to hear it.
I don't think he's doing that.
I'm not Arnold. First off.
Okay, listen, buddy. Listen.
I'm listening.
Okay, no one needs to know what kind of shit I'm looking into. Okay, it's just my own thing, and I might have leaked some stuff on Twitter. Okay.
Better check
Does
your
Arnold
phones.
have leaked nudes?
No,
Let's see.
Dude, why would I have leaked nudes?
The Arnold.
I send them to you anyways.
what would we call
He
it?
has a
The Reddit thing. So the Reddit
What's
thing
your
was the fappening. What would we call Arnold's leaked nudes?
I don't
His
know.
leaked nudes?
Yeah.
Disgraceful.
Hey man, dude, let me live.
You know what? He's got that dad bod though, so it's like that's what's in.
Yeah,
So-
I got the dad bod. Yeah.
Cool. So I guess we're going to try something new tonight.
Yeah, so
Timothy?
we're going to try something new with the news. Everyone's going to introduce their own thing. But before we get into any news, let's go ahead and talk about our weeks first. So who wants to start us off? You want to start us off, Jack?
I'll start us off over here. So this week was pretty good. As we mentioned in the beginning, we saw the Lego movie.
Okay.
Pretty funny. I enjoyed that. I've been playing my Switch a lot right now. Been playing Wargroove, very reminiscent of Advance Wars, and I'm totally a fan of that. I was looking up Advance Wars memes afterwards.
Right.
Like, I love doing that shit.
Didn't you talk about a little bit Wargroove last week, too?
I did because that's all I've been playing.
All you've been playing.
Because I just finally bought the PlayStation 4, so I'll be playing Apex Legends sometime next week.
Right.
So then I'll have an obsession with there. I'll probably get Spider-Man. I'll play that. God of War. And I'm probably going to get The Last of Us because it's $20.
I need to finish Spider-Man. That's one of the games I still need to beat.
How is it?
It's good.
It's good.
It's good. I like it. Like I almost got all the suits.
Oh.
And I just need to get the DLC for it and then beat all the side missions for
That's
it.
the Silver. What was her name? The girl. For the DLC.
Yeah, I can remember.
Silver Sable.
Silver Sable. There we go.
Cool.
Yeah.
That and also I need I'm at the part it's just where you release all the prisoners. That's it.
Oh, I know where you're at.
Yeah.
See,
So
I'm
at the part.
I'm not there at
There's
all.
more right to it, right?
No, you're almost done with the game.
Oh, okay.
You're
Yeah.
almost done.
So I pretty much put a lot of hours in that game. It's fun. The
Yeah.
swinging's amazing.
So I would do that. I probably wouldn't play Red Dead because I never played any of the other ones, so I'm not really into it. It's fine. It's not a bad game inherently.
I don't think for 2 you need to play the other one. The 2 is a prequel to...
Exactly. So it's not like required, but I don't have the hype for it. Like, cool, it's a cowboy game.
I mean, at the same time, yeah, you would be spending a lot on there. It's a lot of investment.
Right, and I'm really
So-
not invested in the series, so
Right.
therefore I don't care as much.
Sure.
I would play Resident Evil for sure, because you're going to get the free DLC.
So good.
So
Resident
I
Evil
keep
2 is so
hearing.
good.
And man, dumb thick.
Oh yeah, the thick Leon, thick
Leon.
zombies.
Why?
Yeah.
X-Gun, give it to you.
The glitch where you can have 2 Mr. X's.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what
Scary.
the hell?
Yeah,
that is
no.
scary.
Oh,
Tofu.
Oh,
Tofu
so-
season.
Oh yeah, Tofu.
Yeah.
You can play as Tofu. Oh, it's so good. I've been having so much fun with Resident Evil 2. It's a really good game.
Well, that's pretty much been my week. I've been doing that and watching more Kitchen Nightmares. I like
Kitchen
Dude, that's a
Nightmares.
good-
I watch
that's
it
a
while
good
I-
show.
I remember I would get a lot of random recommendations on YouTube of clips from Kitchen Nightmares and Hotel Nightmares and stuff.
Hotel Nightmares is a show?
Yeah.
Whoa, but it doesn't
Yeah.
have Gordon Ramsay or does
It's
it?
Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon
Oh my
Ramsay.
god.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So I would like binge watch like a bunch of clips from those, and like it's enjoyable. It's fun. It's fun watching Gordon Ramsay be disgusted at these terrible restaurant owners and these terrible hotel owners. So, but yeah, like I don't know. Did you ever get like a bunch of random recommendations on YouTube for Gordon Ramsay
did.
stuff?
I watched a few of the clips and then now my
Yeah.
like 2 panels are Gordon Ramsay things.
Yeah, like that's what happens is like you get one recommendation for a Gordon Ramsay thing,
And then everything.
and then now everything is a Gordon Ramsay
Well,
recommendation.
for me, it's Chris Hansen from Dateline. And
Are you
Chris
watching?
Hansen?
Well, that's cool.
The thing is, because like
I'm
he's like How to
Chris
Catch a Predator
Hansen.
shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I watch a lot of those memes and shit about him.
Take a seat.
Yeah, take a seat.
Why don't you take a seat?
Dude, how smooth he transitions from like the people from coming inside and making them sit down is fucking good. Like, just take a seat, man. Let me get that piece of cookie.
I like watching that that I think it was a joke clip of
One.
Where the dude was running out the door.
Yeah, the dude runs out and like,
Oh,
gets
just-
chased.
That one,
Mhm.
I get a bunch of those.
Yeah,
Bunch of those.
Sure,
Chris
yeah,
yeah,
Hansen
that's weird. I haven't heard of people getting a lot of recommendations for Dateline.
Well, the thing is, I was listening to another podcast, Joe
Okay.
Santagato,
Right.
and they were talking about Chris Hansen specifically.
Oh, okay.
So
So,
then I was
that's
like,
what spurred all the
yeah.
Chris Hansen recommendations. Okay.
Dude, there's really good ones. So, all right, so just
So-
both of you guys just
Well,
start
that
drinking
was
water.
my week. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thirsty. Okay. Why don't you tell us about your week, Arnold?
You know you're thirsty.
Aside from Chris Hansen videos.
Yeah, watching. Yeah, and then I'm into right now for
Fuck.
the Slavic Elmo. As
oh
you
my
guys-
god.
As we were
before-
enjoying that
Oh.
before we started
Before I
recording,
started, I
Arnold
found
graced
that,
us with that video's present.
dude.
Just-
It's amazing.
I'm having nightmares.
Dude.
Of Slavic Elmo. Slavic Elmo nightmares.
like remember when like Slav memes were a thing?
Yeah,
I don't. Slav
They were
memes weren't
mean.
really a thing for me.
Not for you.
No.
They were for a mean for
You
me.
should go out and squat more.
That's good.
They're really good. And then I've been playing a lot on my Switch. I'm playing.
To path travel.
Octopath.
Well, I started that just now.
my copy of Octopath.
Yeah, his copy
Which you never
that
asked
I
for.
bought.
Yeah.
That he bought.
Yeah,
For my
for his
Christmas
birthday.
or birthday?
Birthday.
There
It
we
was
go.
for his birthday.
Yeah,
That
that's
he
right.
never played.
What did you get him for? When did you get him the Switch?
I
I thought that was for his birthday.
The
No, the
Switch,
Switch and the game.
Octopath.
Oh, and the game. Okay.
yeah, together.
Damn, he loves you.
Yeah.
that was very generous of him. I do appreciate it.
So, and then I've been playing a lot of Nier Automata.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
so
a good game.
It's really good.
How far are you in it right now?
I'm just moving around, just
Yeah.
like doing the side stories right now.
Okay.
But I haven't
Just-
gone really
yeah,
delved into it.
You don't want to go too hard into the side stories because you will have opportunities to go back to them when you do your other run throughs. Because you got to do multiple run throughs, so you don't want to kind of get stuck on your first run for a long time. You know, what I mean,
So I'm right
'Cause
now.
the second run through is going to be very redundant.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start focusing on that, and then obviously Apex Legends. That game was fucking
You were supposed
fun.
to play that with me last night,
I know.
and then if we didn't play last night, you were supposed to play that with me today.
I went to fucking work today, you fucknut. Okay, I went to work, and then I played D&D till last night.
Dungeons
so,
and dick jokes.
yeah, it's fucking fun. That's about it.
Too bad we don't get to like play them physically. You know what I mean? Because it's just hard to get everybody together
It really
in one
is.
place to actually do D&D stuff.
Yeah, it's like I really want to play like a in-person thing.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go to those comic stores and see everyone there being loud.
And then have
you know.
random people walking in.
Yeah, and then people look at you like weird, and they're playing the Yu-Gi-Oh game or some shit like
Dude,
that.
and then you can't actually like role
Reenact,
play.
yeah. And so like you're
in
the
public
weird
like
one
that.
out. Yeah, I'd rather be home.
Because like
That's
when you're
kinda
in
what you do
someone's
with it,
house,
yeah.
you could really be like, oh, I'm Zerg from the Orc Army.
Okay, Toy Story.
But you can't do that in real life.
You can't. Yeah. So that's one of the things. and yeah, that's it. With
Okay.
Apex Legends.
So my
Game's
weeks
fun, by the way.
consisted of what?
Game's fun for Apex Legends.
Yeah, I tried and I suck because I'm not good at shooters.
Well, you're not good at Battle Royale.
Yeah, it's something you need to pick up.
I'm
Yeah.
decent at PUBG.
Yeah,
on your
with
phone?
the squad. They're saying he's good with the squad, but if he does solo, he's not that good.
Yeah. Well, because when I play solo, I don't actually interact with my squad that I get matched up with.
Well, you're solo.
Well,
Hence solo.
no. So I went in on my own, right?
Uh-huh.
But then it joined me into like a random group.
But then you're in squads that you went solo. Yes.
No, because it doesn't give me.
Yes.
It didn't give me an option to choose if I wanted to be by
It
myself.
gives you an option, Timothy.
I didn't see the option. Well,
You're
well,
fucking
fuck.
blind.
I probably just didn't pay enough attention because I didn't care enough. But
This guy just
Timothy, you can just admit it. You're good at
You're
fighters.
good at, yeah. And fucking editing.
Like if we play Halo, man, I would like teabag the shit out of you.
okay, sure,
Dude,
fine.
I got
I
what's
miss
it
those
called?
good old days.
Yeah, those are the good old
days,
days. Yeah.
4-player Halo, man. What was it? Blood Gulch?
Blood Gulch,
Yeah,
yeah.
Blood
I like
Gulch,
playing
man.
the deathmatch one and the other one with. It was
SWAT?
Griffin Ball.
Oh, Griff
Oh
Ball.
shit!
Griffin
yeah,
Ball, yeah. For Rooster Teeth.
Griff Ball, yeah. Yeah,
It's
I made that.
amazing.
So I did not grow up playing Halo.
Because you're.
I didn't grow up playing
Yeah, I was
really
gonna
a, lot
say
of, a lot of shooters in
Well,
general.
Actually, Chad grew up playing Halo and Call of Duty with me, like high school.
Uh-huh.
So
I grew up playing role-playing games because I'm Asian.
So how
And
was
waifus.
Final Fantasy VII? Downloading that nude mod.
All right, so my weeks consisted of not a lot actually, gameplay-wise. So we watched the Lego Movie, but we can't really spoil anything because Marcus is here.
Oh, should have hit
Why
on
didn't
camera.
you? Why didn't you watch it yet, Marcus?
Because honestly, when they told me about like that night where they were gonna go and see a movie,
Yeah.
there was real no like what set movie was gonna be seen. It was just like we might watch a movie. We're probably gonna watch a movie.
That's true.
So if you want to hang out, I mean, you're more than welcome to. I'm like, oh, okay, which movie? And then everyone was like, oh, we don't know yet. I'm
I
like,
think you
okay.
also weren't paid that yet. It was like the week before.
Yeah, you weren't paid.
No,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you were broke.
yeah, but then like a couple hours later, my tax return came in.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Did you get your tax
You
return
missed
yet?
out.
Oh no, wait. You
I
do.
still need to do my tax.
I mean, I'm gonna go see it on Tuesday, so it's
Okay.
not too bad.
Yeah,
But-
we'll talk about it next time. But I've been playing. I try. So I got back into streaming again. And I streamed Pray of the Gods.
How is it?
Pray for the Gods, not Pray of the Gods.
And it's spelled weird because
Yeah.
I was looking at the name
so here's what happened. So originally it was Pray Prey for the Gods.
right.
But Bethesda was like, no, you can't have Prey in your title, even though it's a completely different title.
Oh, because
So
Prey.
yeah, so they had to change. They ended up changing it to Prey Praey. So it's Pray for the Gods, spelled all funky because Bethesda
Is a dick.
is pulling a Candy Crush. So
Was it Candy Crush? No, it was someone else. Someone else tried to
I
like.
thought-
Candy Crush tried to copyright the word saga.
Yeah, but someone else tried to copyright a word too.
Was it
Yeah.
Clash of Clans?
No, it wasn't Clash of Clans. It was a celebrity. I forgot who it was. Was it?
There's a few different people. Oh, remember, you got to speak directly into your
And
microphone.
I
by the
hated
way.
her for it.
Jennifer Lawrence?
No, it wasn't Jennifer Lawrence. It
You're
was
just
someone
throwing
else.
out random names at this point.
Whatever.
You'll remember it eventually. So yeah, I streamed Pray for the Gods. I changed a few settings on OBS and didn't realize I was streaming without any sound for a good 50 minutes until one of my viewers decided to point it out. So yeah, I went like a whole hour without any sound streaming. And then I turned that back on. Arnold realized it much sooner than that.
No,
and-
I was watching like 25 minutes in
Yeah, and
the
then
stream, but I didn't tell him. I was
You
like,
did-
I'm gonna just let him do his thing.
you
you
would.
fucking
Yeah.
asshole.
You would.
Let me
Yeah.
go an hour without sound.
We should have like a sound effect on the deck just for like
I mean,
moments like
we'll
that.
add more sound effects to that. So yeah, Pray for the Gods. It was cool at first, but the more I play it, I was mentioning this to Arnold when we were playing Pray for the Gods today. The more I play it, the less I like it because it has.
He's a guy with specific needs.
It's an early access game still, which I understand, but there are a lot of issues that I really don't like with the game. One of them being I feel like it doesn't really know what it wants to be. So Pray for the Gods has multiple elements to it. It is a Shadow of the Colossus style game. It takes a lot from Shadow of the Colossus. It takes some from Breath of the Wild. You have survival elements. You have item degradation. But here's the thing with item degradation: your weapons break way too early. So when I was streaming, I swear I was fighting an enemy with an axe. It was a brand new axe, and it broke after like 3 swings. And I was really frustrated when that happened. So items break way too early, way too soon. The survival elements in general feel more of like an afterthought than anything. I feel like what happened was they were making a Shadow of the Colossus game, and they were like, fuck, this is too much like Shadow of the Colossus. We got to make it a little bit different. So they decided to add survival elements. So you have to deal with temperature, exhaustion, hunger, and then item degradation and all that stuff. Also, like a bow broke like really fast, and I feel like bows don't typically break like that. Because like I understand melee weapons breaking from you swinging and hitting stuff too much, right? But a bow doesn't really deal with that. Like, name an instance where a bow actually broke in real life.
Okay,
that's fair. I can't think of one. Can you?
Well, if we run out of arrows, start swinging at people and it breaks.
But you don't swing your bow around in the game.
Yeah, but that's your only weapon, though. What else would you do after an arrow?
But he's referring to like when you
breaking.
Yeah, and you actually like you
string
your bow and then
string it and you break the string.
I guess like the string breaking.
That's,
yeah. But in the game, the whole thing just disintegrates.
So it's
well, you're not
durability
gonna
is the
keep the whole
issue,
same
I guess.
bow.
But yeah, like I don't know. It just feels like bowstrings are designed to last a decent amount of time, and within this game, it just. Why are you recording me?
Because it can.
You're recording me ranting about Pray for the Gods.
The thing is,
my point is everything breaks way too fast, and it is really frustrating, and it is more tedious than it is fun.
Well, the thing is, I even told you this is like Arc was like in beta. It's an early access game.
I get
it's a
that
beta,
it's early,
and then like Arc is. They might have like a rough start, and they fixed throughout the game, and then finally they released it as a full game with no like any patches released,
right?
Because they fixed any glitches with it.
And I understand that, but my main issue is that everything just feels like an afterthought. It feels like they decided in the middle of developing this game that it was too much like Shadow of the Colossus, so we needed to add something to make it different. And then, like the enemies, the combat with the enemies the enemies just feel like more like a nuisance than anything. They're not fun to fight against. The combat feels really, really whack. It doesn't feel, and I understand it not being polished, but like it's just frustrating in general. The boss battles feel really redundant because. The whole boss battle is you climb the monster and then you ring these bells.
Ring bells.
Yeah, you ring bells. Yeah. And like there are slight differences to how you can get onto those monsters, but overall it is the exact same thing. You're just climbing and then you ring the bell a few times. You ring the bell once, they start shaking, and then you got to tap a button so you don't fall off, and then you ring the bell again a few more times, and then they start shaking again. It's the same boss battle every time. So I don't know. It just feels redundant, and it feels more tedious than anything. It's just not really fun to me.
I could tell you, Timothy has specific needs of a game. He's very picky.
I would agree with him too. It does feel like a Shadow of the Colossus kind of mock-up, and there's no unique kind of routine to the bosses, because in Shadow of the Colossus you had a unique thing for every Colossus you fought, whether it was underwater, flying, shooting down with arrows, or back by using environment around you. Like that's the niche of it. Sounds like okay, climb up and ring a bell, and then that's that.
And like each of the bosses have a slight different way for you to get onto them. Like the first boss, there was a bell that you rung on top of another thing, right? And then the second boss, you run around, you light these things, you make them shoot the thing, and then they collapse. But once you get onto the boss, it's just the same thing. So it's just boring, and the survival elements are just tedious. And the item degradation is just tedious. I don't know. I'm just not enjoying the game. That's pretty much
play
it.
a different game, right?
This was just my mini review of the early access of Pray for the Gods.
So it's like a 3 out of 5. Playable, but boring.
All right, now it's like a 2 out of 5 right
now.
now.
Yeah, that's Timothy's scale.
That's for 2 out of 5 for me would be like it's kind of broken. Fix the game first.
That's more of a 1 out of 5 for me.
That's a 2 out of 5 for me.
Because like 1 out of 5 would be it's broken and it's not
unplayable.
It's unplayable. Like at least with Fallout 76, you can play the game. Yeah, there's a lot of fucking mistakes. That's like a 2 out of 5. It's,
I don't know.
It's
3 out of 5.
Not...
3 out of 5 to me feels more like it's a bland game. It's just boring. 2 out of 5. It's just a lot of elements are frustrating me about this game.
That's fair too.
Mm-hmm.
We're all entitled to our opinions.
But yeah, that's pray for the gods.
Or just the player sucks.
What?
Bad at games, Timothy.
No, I was having no problems
He was
beating
no
these
problem,
bosses.
Arnold.
Yeah.
You
No
watched me
problem.
play against these bosses, and I had no
Why
issues.
were you watching him?
Because we were playing it for the channel.
Yeah, we're playing
I
for
know.
the channel.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, you watched me play through them, and it wasn't an issue. It was just boring.
You need to get angry, okay? Jeez.
I am very
Upset at this
passionate
game.
about my opinions of games.
Yeah.
All right, so that's pretty much been what I've been doing. And then obviously watching anime like usual. I haven't gotten a chance to continue watching Maniac yet on Netflix. That show that I was talking about.
I still need to watch
yeah.
the tapes for Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy tapes.
Yeah.
You're almost
They're-
done with it, right? There's only 4 episodes.
The 4 episodes. I still need to watch the 3 other
I haven't even started it.
It's really good.
I just keep watching Firefest.
Wait, what?
Seen Fire?
No.
Firefest?
Watch Fire.
I've seen Fire.
Like you know Firefest?
No.
Really?
Serious?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm, huh?
The Jarul incident.
Like you don't
the
know
scam
Firefest?
people?
Like the whole scam that happened for the concert?
So a while
I
back,
probably like heard about it, but it's just not coming to me
give a
right now.
shit.
he probably just skimmed it and then
Yeah.
just didn't
Like
have any interest.
2017, it was the hugest thing. All the influencers went there. They were fed like bread and cheese, and the luxury condos were
Or
just
just
tents.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was really
Yeah, it was
bad,
on
like
a,
every
like
act-
weird
Oh.
island or something.
And,
Yeah.
and like, they promised like, oh, all these artists are gonna be
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
None
no,
of them
yeah,
showed
no,
up.
no. I remember it
And
now.
a
Yeah.
luxury ride. And it's just it's people in a school bus and they throw all luggage and like people lost their shit also on the way there.
Sucks.
Yeah, I remember it now. I remember it now.
Fire.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
All right. So let's go ahead and go to the news. So the first one you wanted to mention, right, Jock?
Yeah. Okay, so I looked what a sin tax was. It's
sin tax is
for
typically-
alcohol
yeah,
and
alcohol.
cigarettes,
Yep.
like things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So what they want to do is they want to tax violent video games, anything that's M-rated or adults only.
Yeah.
And they're doing it for prevention of school shooting because they feel like it's a related topic.
Yeah, and you would have thought by now, like it seemed like politicians were kind of moving away from the whole violent video game
But
debate.
no, because it's still an easy thing to like
it's
pick.
been a while since a politician's actually like pinned it on video games, and then now all of a sudden another politician decides like, I want to do this again.
Do you think it's just an easy topic to like stick to and people
I
rally
feel
behind it?
So
it's
I feel
an easy gateway. I feel like that's what.
No. So what? Sorry. Go ahead.
No, because I feel like when people see these types of like incidents happen, people like the older generation of our parents or any other like the politicians per se.
Yeah.
It's easy to say like, oh, it's the games because people see these guns and
Yeah.
blood and violence, and it encourage the kids to do the kind of stuff.
Basically, they need like a tangible thing to pin violence and shootings and stuff onto. And yeah, like you said, video games is an easy thing to kind of pin it on because a lot of people are playing it and then there's guns in it. It's a tangible thing that to pin it on so that it makes it look like they're working on it towards it. You know what I mean?
Right. And what sucks is video games are part of pop culture.
Mhm.
Pop culture is really what it's influencing everything.
Yeah.
So at what point, if they eventually add these taxes onto video games only, what point will rated R movies start happening? What point will YouTube,
Right.
when
Yeah.
they start cursing,
Yeah.
what's going to happen then?
And this is like the whole it's really they want money and like they want to tax a lot of random because we've been having a lot of really weird and absurd taxes lately, like the tax on texting that never went through.
Good.
Thank
That'd be
God,
so
Thank
good.
God, yeah.
I would have
and then-
hated that so much.
And then there's the tax on entertainment streaming services that was going on in Chicago, where they wanted to tax like Netflix and all that stuff. They wanted to tax you essentially for having fun in Chicago, and yeah, like they just want a way to make money. And a lot of in the past, when people wanted to tax stuff like violent games and when they wanted to pin things on violent games, it's typically been a lot of more corrupt politicians, and then they've been using like studies that didn't really have like a solid ground. Like it was a study that didn't
Was skewed.
it was kind of
probably to
yeah, it
their
was
favor.
skewed. They didn't study it properly, things like that. So like going back to like the corrupt politicians, we had like politicians. I was an Asian guy, Leland Yee. And guess what happened with Leland Yee? He was arrested for trafficking arms. Super corrupt, right?
Yep.
So I mean, Where was I going with this?
I don't know where you were going.
A lot of the past studies, like they just haven't they haven't been like solid studies, and they haven't and their grounds for why they wanted to pin it on violent video games just haven't really been there, you know. But
I mean, that's why we have the ESRB rating.
Yeah,
for a reason.
Yeah,
because
pretty much because like you're not supposed to get it by until you're 17 to play an M-rated game, or
right, but we've all played M-rated games when we were kids.
Yeah,
guarantee it.
But that's really more on the parents.
Right.
Side,
so at the end of the day, that's what should be the blame, is the household.
Yeah, but they don't want to blame the parents, and parents don't want to be blamed.
Right, because nobody wants to take the blame.
Yeah, and since video games isn't a person,
right, you can just pin it because they can't fight back.
Mm-hmm, exactly. But yeah, to go more specifically into what the tax is, it's House Bill 109. They originally made it last year, apparently, and the guy that's spearheading the whole thing, dude named a Republican state representative named Chris Quinn. So I have this article from PC Games N up here right now.
Sorry, I don't mean to cut this, but why is your image just you like just raising your arm in the sky?
Yeah, look, you're the only one.
What happened to my camera? Did you?
No, it still works. It's just
still
that
works. It's just for some reason I think it's OBS or whatever. It's you look like you just did a performance from Bohemian Rhapsody.
Wait, but like why is it doing that on me? Wait, switch to my camera angle real quick.
This is great.
So my camera angle's working.
Fine,
it's only in there.
It's OBS. You look like the Asian version of Freddie Mercury.
We should just leave it as is. Don't even worry about it right now.
I'm fixing this.
I love catching.
Well, anyways, the
stuff like
Pennsylvania lawmaker, while he's fixing this,
go for it.
He put forward a bill that would introduce an additional 10% tax on violent video games. So that's about like $70 for a game. And realistically, Resident Evil M-rated, God of War M-rated, Apex Legends probably give it a teen rating.
That's
They'll give it a teen rating.
Plus, it's free. You really
Mortal Kombat 11.
M-rated.
M-rated.
Like the games you want to play, a majority of them are M-rated. GTA.
Fucking example.
Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
M-rated. Like, you know, the games you want to play are going to be M-rated.
Yeah, and it's I'm not too sure about you guys, but I have never heard a game
my
title
camera's not going to work on that screen.
About hearing an adult game at all.
Adults only is gone. Like, you will not see those anymore.
I've never heard of those games at all.
The thing is it's such a hard person to sell it to.
Well, yeah,
because then there's the erotic game section. That's a whole different.
That's a whole different ballpark.
That's like selling porn.
And there actually is a higher rating above rated R for movies too.
Yeah, NC-17.
Yeah,
it's like you have to be 17 to purchase.
Yeah. No, it's higher. No, it's higher than NC.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Is it NC-21?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's NC-21. I think that's
usually those are like, you have to be the age.
Yeah, because that's the one that like gets away with like a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I know about the NC-17 and the other ones, but just I've never like let's go watch this movie like play or a game, because I just know E through M. That's it.
Right. That's what everyone.
That's generically, but there is an A.
No one's going to make an AO game because they know it's not going to sell, because a lot of stores don't carry AO.
Yeah. Basically with producing and then like publishing and all that stuff, they want to publish something that is able to be sold to all ages, and when you restrict it to like a certain age, you're just not going to make any money out of it.
Yeah, of course, but it's just like I've never heard any titles. Have you? Any adult?
Not since GTA. What was it? San Andreas had to be taken down.
And Super Kinky was adult only.
Really?
Yeah.
But that's more of an erotic game. That's what I count that as.
Well, typically adult only is erotic games.
Yeah. Because sex is.
I know.
Well, yeah, like my camera's just not going to work on that screen, which sucks. But whatever.
But it's just like that just still like befungles me.
Befungles
him.
I'm thinking Spanish and fucking English at the same time.
It perplexed him so much that he had to come up with a new word to describe how perplexed he was.
But like, it befounds me that like I've never.
But speaking about that, did you? I saw a post about someone saying like, why can't we use the word gruntled?
Gruntled.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
what?
You know how like the word everyone likes to use is disgruntled?
Yeah.
Like to feel like uncomfortable or like just upset. Apparently, gruntled means to be like pleased or
but nobody
loved.
uses it.
No one uses gruntled, like
because it sounds bad.
Right? Like, I like to get gruntled in the morning.
I
feel
woke up feeling
today.
gruntled.
I gruntled myself that night.
That pillow job made me feel very gruntled.
Oh, what a gruntling experience at the DMV.
My sweets.
Now I want to start using the word gruntle.
Yeah,
I'm going to start using it because it's just going to make people feel
back,
awkward about it.
Bring gruntled back.
Yeah. Hashtag bring back gruntled. Or
Make
was gruntled
America say
ever
gruntle
gone?
again.
No, it was never gone.
It
That's
never
the thing. I
left.
feel like it was just like one of those words where it's just like the opposite meaning had more of a solid kind of like solid place in our vocabulary because disgruntled, like a lot of us feel disgruntled from either work or people or just in general.
Right.
Never the opposite of disgruntled.
It's like another way of saying like, oh, I'm about to like release the babies. You know, I'm about to come. And it's from like I think it's a New Zealand term from saying it. It's like about to spunk.
Oh, I've heard
God,
of that.
yeah,
I've heard
it's
of
more of like a Europe,
it's more of a European thing.
Spunk.
English speaking side of Europe.
Yeah.
It's just it's hilarious to me.
Like
I'm about
Spanglish,
to spunk. Yeah. So like that's
I
Urban
don't know.
Dictionary.
Spanglish?
I don't know. I was gonna say like Inglo, but that sounded like really like bad.
is it?
I don't know. I'm trying to combine English and Euro together, and it came out.
Oh, my
Inglo.
camera just
Inglo?
stopped working entirely.
Oh,
Unplug it back in.
Yeet.
Pull out the
I'll be
HDMI cable real quick.
All right.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
So
no.
anyway, syntaxes.
Yeah, syntaxes. Where were we?
So they're going to release the taxes on it would make games about $70.
Yeah, that is an absurd. I know Canada right now has to pay $70 for their games.
That's because Canadian.
That's Canadian dollars.
Yeah, I know. The value of their dollar is not as
Strong as
yeah
Americans.
strong, but having to pay $70 for a single game is a little
That's
absurd.
bad.
Well, the thing is, because like if you're really thinking about it, we're paying $60 for a game,
Yeah,
including the DLC. That's if you want to get DLC,
you have to pay
that's
extra for the DLC typically.
So that's what 65.
Yeah, no,
75.
Game prices even right now is a little
It's
crazy
absurd.
for a AAA game. It is really expensive
Especially when the AAA games suck.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like it, I
Really?
feel like if they're gonna do this, right? Is this going to be in effect?
No.
No. It's looking like it might not be.
Yeah,
but
so here's the thing. Every single time they've tried to do something like this, it has been ruled as unconstitutional. That's why it hasn't happened yet. If it weren't for the whole unconstitutionality of it, we would probably have a lot of issues with violent video games right now, but we don't because it's failed every single time.
But it's just.
I mean, that's why we have no more Manhunt games. Well, that might have been just because Manhunt was
yeah.
It
was a little extreme.
You really went on the edge there, fucking people up.
Like, I know there's one game from the 90s. You're a prisoner, and I think they took that game off the shelves. Fucked up. Because like
90s?
Yeah,
90s?
Prisoner?
Yes. I think it was Prisoner. I'm not too sure, but like it was too gory. It's like a third person fixed view or like a camera, right? Tank view. And then
We're not talking about Manhunt, are we?
I'm not too sure.
Might have been.
Was it Manhunt? It sounds like it could
like
be Manhunt.
What you're describing sounds like Manhunt.
Because I know it's just
you
you're
were
a killer from Prisoner, and like you're go around the killings of it was too gruesome. They had to take off that game specifically.
I think you're talking about Manhunt. That
I
sounds
think so, 'cause
that
Manhunt
sounds
was
like you were
way violent.
yeah,
it
like
was super violent. You were
Wasn't it like
Was
you're
it-
some fucked up dude? You were a psycho.
no, I think you're thinking of Rage.
I don't
Something
think that
like
was
that?
Rage. No,
Postal?
no. Postal's Postal. No, it's not that. No, it's the other guy. It was
It was the dude. He comes out of his house.
the setting was he was in prison. He breaks out of prison.
No, I'm talking about what you're thinking Manhunt is. I think you're thinking Manhunt is what was that game that they took off of Steam? It was like some dude that just literally leaves his house and starts shooting people up.
Oh, yeah, and he had like the long hair and the trench coat. And it was over the top view. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It didn't even get to like make it. It just like
they made it. They took it off of Steam.
I thought they just took it down right away.
They took it off of Steam.
Did they?
Because it's essentially you just go around and kill people.
The winner goes to Timothy for guessing it right. Yeah, it was Manhunt. Manhunt. The story opens on James Earl Cash, a death row prison, recently
There you go,
experienced
yeah.
by injection.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Hatred is the one you're thinking.
Hatred. Yeah.
That one got pulled.
Yeah.
Did it get pulled?
And GTA was the number one.
Yeah, so according to here, it did get pulled due to the big controversy of the graphic violence in it. It was banned in several countries, and implicated in a murder by the UK media.
You would
I know like there was
Ooh.
the kill shots for those.
you would think like the Punisher would be taken down. You do just as nasty things in that.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's as. Yeah, it's not.
I
as
guess because the
bad
story of
as it
vengeance
was.
as opposed to just pure murder.
Because let's put it this way: they had a level difficulty called fetish.
I don't think that's that bad.
No, but like think about it. Like this game came out in
was it
2003.
Right.
Oh, wasn't? No.
S-
Shit. Okay.
Yeah, so we're already in 2019 where a lot of things are a little bit more different now. Where it's like we're okay with that kind of stuff now because we see it from time to time. But back then, 2003, if you were to see a difficulty called fetish, you'd be like, "Wow,
Ooh.
that's just weird. I want to do it."
Yeah.
Because I mean, as a kid, you're curious about that. But I guess like I also want to put my point in this too, like not just going back to like the price drops, but also because again we have the ASRB rating, like that's there for a reason.
It's there for a reason, and their argument is always like, well, it never works. They always get their hands on it, but that's really more of a matter of the parents.
Yeah,
Parents
exactly. It's more of a
buying it.
matter of a parent like, deciding. And as someone who worked for a said company that shall not be named, I dealt with that a lot, and I always had people or kids crying, their parents not giving a crap and be like, just give it to them anyways. Or the kids would go out and find someone in the mall and come over and be like, oh, this is my guardian. Like, dude, you look nothing like him.
little Tommy, and then brings in
A black dude.
Yes, actually, that's exactly what happened.
Really?
I shit you not. It happened like that.
Whoa.
He paid the guy like $10.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, dude, leave.
well, at the same time, adoption is also a thing.
I know. But we had tricks on like how
Yeah.
to make sure that they were related.
Right.
We would like casually be like, oh, hey, let me check your gamer card to see if you have any points.
Mm-hmm.
And then we would see their name, their last name, and then when said guardian would present their name, it would have like a totally different last name, address, things like that. So it's like,
yeah,
you're really
Makes
trying
sense.
to tell me the little Tommy that this guy is.
yeah.
That who does not look like you
Sure.
at all.
Yeah.
So
So we had ways around it, but at the same time, we also when some of us failed in checking that, we'd also get parents coming back like, "Why did you sell this to my child?" Blah blah. And that's like, "Oh well, he had his uncle with him, so blah blah blah."
Right.
But yeah, it's there for a reason. But again, like you said, it's just more of like it's up to the legal guardians and parents to keep that under control.
Mhm.
And again, most of them just nowadays don't even care. They say that they have control, but again, then it comes down to a bigger play, like where I guess parents should be more strict, and then it comes down to the testing of psychological mental stability.
That was like kind of the other thing is like the studies that the politicians were citing and all that stuff. They mention like, oh, there's links to video games and then like all these shootings and stuff, but they also failed to mention that those studies also mention that there are a number of other factors that are in play with starting these mass shootings and what's
not
like
video
mental
games.
yeah,
Right,
their
it's a
mental states
illness
and all
this
that
happens
stuff
over time.
and they
Yeah.
never mention that when they're trying to blame video games. So
yeah.
So
All right.
yeah, that was
So screw you, politicians.
100% cut.
screw the man.
Get on to our next topic.
Yeah, our next
Timothy, you want to
topic.
start this one off?
Sure. Our next topic is Activision-Blizzard's employees are preparing for a mass layoff.
Hey.
And what's crazy about this is they didn't find out from their company. They found out from leaks.
Whoa.
So a lot of this stuff was leaked to like Bloomberg, and Kotaku got the story from Bloomberg. But it was leaked to like Bloomberg and everything. So basically, Activision-Blizzard is preparing to lay off around like 100 employees.
Yep.
Really, I thought it was more.
Hundreds of jobs, caps.
Hundreds. So 100 or more employees. And they're expecting it to happen around Tuesday what was the date? The 12th, right?
12th? Yeah, it should be
Tuesday
12th.
the 12th.
Shit. So that's fucked.
Yeah. So apparently they've been planning this for a while, and recently they planned it for a while, and the employees found out about it pretty early on. And now they're kind of just stuck, like they don't know who's going to get laid off, and they're just stuck here waiting, expecting it to happen, essentially. So I have this Kotaku article by Jason Schreier up right now, and it's a pretty good article on the topic too, so you should totally check this out. But basically it says like staff at the game publisher Activision-Blizzard are preparing for big layoffs next week, waiting to see who will be one of the potential hundreds of employees who could lose their jobs on Tuesday. There's been no official news from the publisher yet, but we first heard word of upcoming layoffs late last year. At the time, Activision and Blizzard staff told me they expected the axe to fall in February, and I started hearing more and more rumors earlier this week with whispers suggesting that the layoffs would happen ahead of the publisher's quarterly earnings call, which is on Tuesday, February 12th. Employees across all of Activision's offices have been kept in the dark as they wait to see what will happen. Some say they're pretty sure they're safe. Others say they fear they will no longer have jobs next week.
That's fucked.
What really has to suck is, because I pulled up the other article you had from Bloomberg.
Yeah.
The thing is they were collecting so many games and so many are doing poorly right now.
Yeah, this kind of comes in light of like their whole cost-cutting plans.
Cost-cutting methods
yeah.
and the way the game initially runs, like you're not generating revenue.
Yeah.
So therefore, and if it's getting stale, like, you can't get new people to play it.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna start there's no reason to keep the game going or have as many people on the team.
Right.
Abundance, you gotta. Fortunately, it looks like they have to cut them.
Yeah, their whole business plan right now, which makes absolutely no sense, is to spend less and make more games. So you're going to be producing lower quality games, which is inherently going to make less money because people aren't going to buy it.
Good.
Yeah, and this kind of comes to like the whole like gamers are always kind of pointing their fingers at developers for not being in touch with the gamers. And this example is a really strong example of the companies, the big executives, not being in touch with the gamers because they don't seem to understand that gamers are a very picky bunch and they're not going to play a game if it sucks, essentially. So
a lot of people, I know Spencer's a big one. He'll wait about a week or two before he decides to buy anything.
Yeah.
Because he reads reviews and then he's like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, he's not like, I'll jump on shit all the time right in the beginning and find out, that was a waste of $60.
Right.
Too late.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it with Anthem.
Smart, which is smart. I should have done that with fucking Massive.
But that was the thing. You liked the game.
Yeah.
And you wanted to be the first, I forget what it was in the term in market. People, the first users of it.
Yeah, the thing is, and like I like this series, so I was like I said, my expectations of Mass Effect Andromeda were so fucking high, and then when I started playing the game, it's just like fuck, like why? What happened? They dropped the ball. So like I never played it, and will never touch that game again.
Right, it's an unfortunate. It's already burned for you.
Yeah, so like it's pointless. So like I'd rather have my money back, but I can't.
Thank you for taking for the team. Somebody has to do it at one point.
Yeah.
A lot of people took it for the team when they bought Fallout 76.
They
did.
Oh, so many people.
Oh, snap.
I'm getting punished for playing.
But yeah, this is also like kind of at a time where Blizzard in general has been kind of going downhill. And it's mostly because of Activision's kind of influence, because they've been creeping up and pushing them to do more under Activision, like more of what Activision wants.
Yeah, like you can buy a dot for $1.
Like, and the thing is with the market right now, it's ever since the success of like free to play games, that's becoming your model, is make it free and people buy things.
Yeah,
that's one of them. Battle Royale is another good example. A lot of them are free, and you just buy a bunch of stuff for your game.
That's how Fortnite's making all their money.
But like, I don't think there's enough stingy people like me who don't buy anything for games and just play them free forever. But at some point, it's like, okay.
So that type of game is the type of game that gets marketed to people like me who like looking pretty.
I totally have seen your Street Fighter, your outfits.
I have almost all the costumes in Street Fighter. And then whenever I play any game that has costumes, I buy a lot of costumes. Apex Legends, I haven't even really started playing, and I bought like $10 worth of loot boxes trying to get a Wraith costume.
Oh my god, you would. Which Wraith one? I have to ask you.
One of the white legendary one with the mask.
Yeah, that one's dope. Okay,
yeah.
I can't hate you for
I
that.
play Fortnite and I don't fucking do that. I just buy the battle pass.
You're a liar.
I buy the battle passes.
It's the same thing.
But
it's the same shit.
But
you have to earn it.
Yes, I started earning the fucking battle passes.
I mean, that's the cool thing about Apex Legends is you have the freedom to do both. Either you pay it outright from your pocket, or you can grind the in-game currency money and still buy legendary weapons.
Yeah, you still have the money. You make it either or.
It's just a time-consuming thing, but there's no battle pass.
Nothing will stop me from looking pretty in my games.
And I don't want you to stop.
When I played Phantasy Star Online 2, you have, since it is a Japanese game and you have to have a Japanese account. I can't go on their website to buy money and I can't buy it like inside the game. So I had to jump through all these hoops. I had to download this app I had to download the app through a separate app that translates it.
Yep.
So that I can pay money to buy these packs so that I can open those up and get items that I can sell inside the in-game market to make money so I can buy the exact costumes I want.
Vanity is the end game.
I have to look pretty.
That's the problem with those business models is because, like, when are they going to make an Overwatch 2? It's never going to happen.
No.
League of Legends 2 is never going to happen.
Overwatch is kind of dying right now.
It is. But
because
like that,
everyone went to Fortnite and now Apex Legends.
Exactly. So like the thing is when a game can't release a second one because your model is games as a service?
Yeah.
Where you don't release more games, instead you just keep adding onto one. There's inherently a problem with it.
Oh, and all the publishers are kind of moving towards that now too, which kind of sucks. Like Ubisoft announced that they're very open about the fact that they are moving towards games as a service. There's not going to be another Assassin's Creed for like a long time.
They loved it, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then that's the thing, because that's all battle royales are. Is the games as a service. They're never going to make Fortnite 2.
Yeah,
it's just going to be Fortnite with a bunch of stuff.
I like to call them infinity games.
Infinite.
I imagine just seeing Overwatch Battle Royale, Assassin's Creed Royale.
Assassin's Creed would be a little bit tougher, but
it'd be tougher, but like it was
Overwatch.
Smaller map, but like you have all these like special classes.
I think a melee centric battle royale would be interesting though.
Yeah.
Oh, like
Assassin's Creed 3, they had that.
Like in Venice, like a part of Venice, and it's super small, and you go out and just start killing people.
There's
that's great.
Imagine Gears of War Battle Royale.
Is that a thing?
Imagine though. Just imagine.
I can see that more of like an MMO.
It could be an MMO.
Yeah, MMO or FPS.
I don't know. I don't think Gears of War could ever become that, because inherently the style of the game has never been about jumping.
It's been about jumping over,
ducking and taking cover.
Covers, yeah.
And that's being Dom, just no.
That's the whole thing. Blind fire. Yeah. That was your whole thing. So I don't think you could make a Gears of War one without making you alienate what Gears of War is when you think of Gears of War, the brand.
Well, the thing is, like, you don't have to make Gears of War like a jumping thing. Like, you can have like same way of going around corners, try to get the loots.
Couldn't I just play Gears of War multiplayer?
Yeah, Gears of War multiplayer all over again, but like in Battle Royale
like
mode.
Call of Duty was surprising that when they had
Blackout,
when Blackout was like a thing.
The thing is, I played Blackout again. I still hate it. I don't like it. I just don't like it. I just don't like how it weighs.
I think Blackout or Apex Legend is what I thought Blackout was going to be.
So Blackout is an interesting example because remember the whole waiting for reviews type thing that we were mentioning earlier?
Mm-hmm.
So Blackout, what happened with that was they released it without any microtransactions, waited for all the reviews to come out and have all the reviews be good. Then they added all the really absurd microtransactions and turned it into a grind fest, and people hated it after they added those. So
yeah, like I just don't like quick. Like how the quick when you run around and shit.
It's
like
too fast.
It's too fast for me.
That's good. That's what it's Call of Duty.
And
it's
Apex
a fast-paced
Legends
game.
isn't?
No, Apex Legends. No, it's not.
No, it's not. That's the thing.
Very
Apex
slow.
doesn't feel very BR style. It is the premise.
The little bit I played of Apex so far definitely does feel more like a standard like deathmatch shooter, more so than an actual battle royale game.
It's like I compare this with Siege, because Apex Legends is like
I would say it's like Siege,
but you can't lean, you can't do anything. I immediately started playing the game. First thing I tried to do is see the enemy, crouch, start, and press E.
Yeah,
you can't press E, but I couldn't lean, so I was like, oh shit. So then like the way how the characters are is very like cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what makes it unique. It stands out above like there's a
right,
and each character has each personality,
right,
just like Siege. Yeah. Everyone has it,
which is awesome.
That's what hero shooters are. That's the appeal of hero shooters,
and it's a good hero shooter because it doesn't
That's why
feel.
Overwatch did so well at the beginning.
It did,
and it dies. It's gonna die,
and then it died.
Because the thing is there's hard counters in those, but with Apex is like you're still just a guy who still gets shot.
Yeah,
and then you're done.
But there's comps, 3-man comps, which Overwatch has.
Yeah,
but
they
it's
can't
just
have
so fucking hectic they can't.
Right. Well, the thing is what's
You
also
can't just
really cool
die
about them
and-
is there's
Yeah.
multiple teams. It's not just one team versus one team.
Yeah.
It's like there's everyone. So you got to watch your ass all over the place,
Mhm.
which is fun.
which is what battle royales are. That's what
Yeah,
makes the appeal of them.
Right. Personally, the appeal of battle royales for me is the openness of the map, how big the map is, and then like traversing and all that stuff.
That is
so.
pretty
That's
cool.
why I enjoy. That's what I enjoy about battle royales typically. I don't know how I feel about like a smaller sort of environment for something like that. You know, what
I don't
mean?
know. I think they did a good job on mobile because I was playing PUBG on mobile for a while, and they came out with this version called QuickTime or quicker mode, and it just closes faster, and
Mhm.
it kind of forces you to engage everybody. Because
Yeah.
otherwise, I would do it in Fortnite.
So I don't mind a faster closing ring. I just still want a big environment.
Oh yeah, the maps are still huge.
Yeah.
Eventually, they just get small enough where
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like you have to fight each other.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
It's fun.
That is true. There is like,
'Cause-
where do you want to drop? So there's so many places.
Yeah, and there's all right, cool. You get this and this and this. Just what is one game?
I just want there to be one Titan in the center as the cornucopia, and everyone has to go run for it because they want that Titan for their team.
Yeah,
And then they just, oh god,
That'd
it
be
would be
great.
awful. So many
Fight
people
for the
dying.
Titan.
yeah.
Like you would need all three of your teammates or at least two of
That
them
would-
to pilot
that
it.
would be really
That'd
fun.
be a cool game
Yeah.
mode. Yeah,
Yeah,
because then
they-
you know like you're pretty busted when you have the Titan. So
Just like Fortnite had that thing with the Thanos thing.
when you had the Thanos,
like
yeah,
the
and you were
Thanos.
pretty busted
Everyone-
with Thanos.
Or Juggernaut in Halo.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it feels like. That's cool. That'd be a cool idea. So, I guess to wrap it up, Blizzard make a BR style game, and you may not lose your employees.
Maybe not. I guess we're gonna
Don't
have to
fire
see.
everybody. Make a good game.
Well,
Period.
speaking of firing and what are you going to do after work? Who wants to start off this next story?
I guess I could start this off again. Or Arnold, do you want to start it off?
Take a shot.
Or did you not? Arnold doesn't
never-
research before
Check
our
it out. So
podcast.
No, I don't.
if you no longer work for a game
are we
company,
doing the devs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll take on this.
take
Okay.
it on.
Yeah. So, the former employees of Telltale have now will focus on interactive game studio at AdHoc Studios.
Mhm.
So Telltale isn't almost dead. They're surviving by
Their
strength.
legacy is
Just by
somewhere.
one leg.
The
by one
legacy
leg.
is there.
They are no. Telltale is
Is
dead.
dead.
Skybound is working on that. Is on that final season of The Walking Dead. No longer Telltale, and now those employees have moved over to this thing. So they're basically making essentially the same thing that they've
Yeah.
always been doing, although it is a little bit different. So, four employees from Telltale Games, four former employees from Telltale Games formed AdHoc Studio, and they are focusing, like you said, Marcus, on interactive storytelling stuff, but they are putting a little bit of a focus towards live action.
Live action,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and it's going to be done through streaming services and phone.
This
That's
is going to
actually
be
cool.
this is going
That's
to be
cool.
weird.
Yeah.
So it's like I guess like they were mentioning like
Bandersnatch.
Bandersnatch, exactly.
Yeah.
Like the way they want to create something like that for TVs and streaming services, where it's like Bandersnatch, where you have your choice of creating or seeing your choices in this show. Like
Mhm.
the next,
That's a Netflix show, right?
Bandersnatch.
So it was from Black Mirror.
Mirror.
Yeah, it's like the one that it's a video game, right?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
goes insane, right?
No,
No,
Like,
it was-
it was a book, and then like the kid started making a game, and he
it was
went
a book.
insane.
He made it into a game. Yeah, he went insane. Yeah. So it's it's kind of like that one text game that came out a long time ago. There's a text game. I life of me cannot remember the
The
name.
dwarf something.
It's like Z starts with Zerg. But yeah, it's like he made that Bandersnatch into a video game where it's like you make your own.
And then
Mhm.
the same person, like the very end, I'm gonna
And there's
spoil
like
it.
6 different endings or something,
Yeah.
or it'll tell
Warning,
you like you
spoilers.
died, and then you have to go back to like whatever scene you chose before that. So,
Mhm.
yeah, so the AdHoc, which is by the way, like that's a great name, AdHoc,
Yeah,
because
it
it's
is.
advertisement, and it's a studio that makes
AdHoc.
games for
Yeah.
streaming services. So that's cool. I mean, like the fact that they're focusing more on that.
I definitely
just-
think there is a market because Bandersnatch did well. Her
Mhm.
story did very well. It's a similar concept. Her
yeah,
story.
her story was so interesting for like the thought of it. Yeah.
And it was a live action interactive experience, basically. And well, although more of an actual game.
I feel like these types of games would do very well on Twitch because you know how many people
like Twitch played Pokemon.
Twitch plays play Pokemon.
Twitch like Pokemon, yeah, things like
so
that.
like how many people like, interact with that? They can fuck with the
Mhm.
people playing with, like the streamer, or like,
yeah.
join the gameplay.
There's
It's like Jackbox.
I think in
people do that too.
what was it? Dead Cells has a Twitch mode where people on Twitch that are watching your stream can type in specific commands and it interacts with it. So you link your stream, your Twitch account to Dead Cells,
Right.
and so people can type in commands and it affects your game.
Yeah, which is cool because I feel like then more the viewer has a fun
People
time.
like being involved. Yeah.
They absolutely do. Yeah.
And again, according to this article, like the way they're talking about it and the way I picked it up is like, yeah, that's a new area to work to explore. It's a new type of content that no one's really focused on yet, except Netflix, because they did Bandersnatch. But now AdHoc wants to focus on that even more and create something that's going to, cause an upswell of like interactive content, which again, Twitch would be a good thing to do. I can see YouTube doing that too. YouTube has done that. YouTube has done that. Like Markiplier did that in one of his videos where you would choose a video after one video
those
ends.
annotation.
The annotation. ones,
like the one where the stories.
But YouTube had to get rid of annotations forever.
Right,
Yep, so you can't do those no more.
Can't do those anymore. But the idea was there. People try to monopolize it, but again, it didn't really stick until Bandersnatch came out and everyone fell in love with Bandersnatch. Like, oh, it was so fun to do. Or, God, it took me 4 hours to finish it. Like,
Totally.
I heard a lot of things. So, I mean, I never really did the Bandersnatch thing. I thought it was just like, oh, I'll hear it from other people.
Right.
And that's what ended up happening. But again, like reading from other like articles and stories and just other people's opinion where it's just, oh, yeah, it took me, this X amount of hours to finish it. Or, oh, I took this wrong answer, so I had to do it again. And then now just seeing like, the former employees of Telltale who were known for their interactive games for Walking Dead, Wolf Among Us, the Borderlands series, like I think they would do a really good job.
Telltale
brand
in the title. Yeah.
Batman. Oh, I forgot about Batman.
Yeah. I think this is definitely an interesting direction to go to because it's not really straying too far away from what they've been used to with Telltale, but it's not sticking to that same Telltale formula because, I mean, honestly, personally, I feel the Telltale formula has been a little bit played out. I'm not really particularly interested in those titles anymore. And I know a lot of people aren't really interested in them anymore, with the exception being, what was that horror one called?
Wolf Among Us?
No, not Wolf Among Us. The horror one with, shoot, it wasn't a Telltale game.
It was a Cthulhu based?
No. There was what was it called? Horror.
Describe it?
Horror. Story game. No.
Clock Tower.
That's an old
it
game.
was a Telltale style game where you make choices and stuff. And there was
because it's like the Goosebump Choose Your Own Adventure stuff.
No, it wasn't Goosebumps.
Oh, I remember those as a kid.
I remember those books. Those are fucking good.
Did super well. Telltale style game.
That's what I just typed in right now.
Until Dawn.
Oh, of course, Until Dawn. Yeah.
That did very well.
Until Dawn was
cool.
like,
that did very well, but that was one of the few exceptions to like a recent game in that style doing well, pretty much. Until Dawn and Life is Strange are like the two exceptions.
Yeah, Life is Strange.
But other than that, every other Telltale game hasn't really performed very well.
But I mean, they're doing The Walking Dead, and that's fine.
That was like the only one.
I didn't watch the Batman one. I didn't watch Wolf Among Us. Dude, like I can kind of remember.
I like Wolf Among Us. I'm sad they didn't really continue that because it had a really
it had a good storyline,
cliffhanger moment. And
was Wolf Among Us a game first or was it a comic first?
It's a comic. It's a comic done by Dark Horse.
Okay.
Someone correct me that if you can.
I like watching like people play it. Yeah, like, I like watching it and then me playing.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what Telltale is. It's pretty much watching, not really playing.
But again, so like if you really think about it in a bigger picture, they can like sign on with so many companies, like with Disney,
right,
or Lucasfilms, or Warner Brothers.
Imagine a Star Wars version.
Where you get to pick the ending.
Like again, you pick the ending, and then like
pick what side you want to be, the dark, or you want to be the good or the great. Like, isn't the gray a canon thing also?
You can be a Jedi of the Gray, but that's
Jedi of the Gray. But I mean, that's a story for another time because it's going to delve onto a whole another conversation.
Yeah, we're not. Hey, we're Star
But yeah, so monopolizing that with other companies, like I really feel like this could blow up and. They're definitely going to be like they're definitely going to be
I think what's cool about this direction is rather than a video game being more of a viewing experience, this is a viewing experience being more like a video game, which doesn't seem different, but like mentally it feels a bit different when you're actually experiencing it, I feel like.
This is something I would go out and do.
Yeah,
it's definitely true.
again, monopolizing it on Twitch or YouTube and
Mixer.
content makers will definitely have a lot more to work with, and
Be glad.
It'll be
Honestly,
yeah.
they'll be
Seriously, like a lot of like partnerships I can see happening. That this could take an
this is definitely a very. I'm excited to see where it goes. And I'm excited to see what their first project is.
And if they do, we need to hop on that fast.
Yeah.
Get that money.
And I mean, I think it's a good direction for them because, you know, they were already kind of used to this.
Yeah.
Changing it. They're in the right direction for what they do. Yeah.
They have a lot of experience in film, and then now they have a lot of experience in the gaming industry as well. So yeah, they can definitely really pull this off. So that is pretty much all the stories we have. If you have anything that you want us to talk about, or if you have like a news story that you're interested in us covering or something like that, go ahead and send us an email at heywereplayin@gmail.com. That's heywereplayin@gmail.com. And if you're not already subscribed to our YouTube, you definitely can. I can't control what you do.
I'm not your mom.
Yeah. Giacomo's not your mom. Stealing my joke, Giacomo.
Best joke, like from the highest grossing video we have.
Yeah.
Well, remember, hit that bell, guys, to get notifications.
So you know when our videos drop. Although there have been issues in the past of that not working because, YouTube algorithm.
YouTube. Yay.
But if you want to make sure you're always notified and subscribed, you can also subscribe to us on Spotify, Podbean, Google Play, or any of your preferred podcasting services.
Stop swaying.
Stop swaying?
Stop swaying.
I do what I want. You're not my mom.
You're not.
I'm not related to you, so fuck you.
Honestly, I was expecting would you like me to be?
We're also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can catch us there as well.
Yep. At Heywereplayin, but at Heywereplayin without an apostrophe.
You really want to focus in on that. I already made a joke for it. We're in on the joke now.
Where were you, man?
Like on Instagram, I
All right. But yeah, give us a rating on everything because it definitely does help us.
It definitely does help, and we do appreciate it.
Yeah, and then thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys next week.
See ya.
Bye.